Decoding the Bohemian Grove Cremation of Care ceremony. If you're listening to this, then you'll be well aware that many powerful and elite men from industry, banking, defense, academia, science, and politics head to Northern California to what's known as the Bohemian Grove for a two-week retreat. It's a huge and famous campground that used to be open only to the American elite and was where much of the planning for the Manhattan Project had occurred, giving the planners a secure venue to discuss such plans. And this is interesting because the motto of this club of men says, "Weaving spiders come not here," meaning that men aren't allowed to discuss entanglements like business partnerships and plans, etc. However, it's commonly reported that this did indeed occur during the planning of the invention of the atomic bomb. The club has since been open to members of the elite from across the globe, and not just specific to America anymore. The meeting is billed as a two-week get-together of the elite, a chance to take a break, have some good entertainment, or just relax somewhere within the sprawling scenic property. They supposedly enjoy entertainment such as musical concerts, games, and full play productions with elaborate sets and props. One of these elaborate props is a permanent 40-foot owl structure standing alongside a man-made lake. On the first night of this get-together, all members will come down to this lake in order to participate in what is called the Cremation of Care ritual. Now let's stop right here. We need to explain this statue, this owl statue. Without going into all of the translations over time, this statue is a symbol for Moloch. Moloch is considered the Canaanite god of children's sacrifice. Moloch and the Canaanites are closely related to the Phoenicians, and keep that in mind for later. And so it seems that these men are meeting for a ritual underneath a 40-foot Moloch structure. Now, to make it worse, understanding that Moloch is the god of child sacrifice, this ritual then goes on to kill via burning a supposed effigy. The effigy's name is Dull Care. Understanding, folks, that the people that meet here are the people who are the cogs in this wheel that is our current world system. Some are top players in the know, others are simply useful idiots, there for the fame and money, while others are blackmailed. Knowing that these are the people who control the world and understanding the hell that this world currently is, we can see that these people are responsible for the death, murder really, of hundreds of millions of people, possibly per year. And I say this while citing in my head all of the wars and conflicts raging at any given time, the forced mass famines, the famines due to being poor, the drug overdoses, the vaccines, the state-sponsored human trafficking, and the outright slavery that occurs in many countries, resulting in the death of many more. So we can see that these people aren't even people at all, dear listeners. In the least, they are the mirror image of what we call a psychopath. Psychopaths have no empathy. They can't put themselves in someone else's shoes and feel for them, to feel their pain. They have no regard for any other person on earth other than themselves. Very Luciferian in nature. Do as thou wilt, as the Luciferian creed goes. So these people, especially the top echelon in the know, are deliberately causing the deaths of hundreds of millions of people per year. Now that we understand this, let's go back and take a look at this ritual. The first thing that should be pointed out is that all of the attendees, including the three priests leading the ritual, are all dressed in Druid attire, Celtic robes, etc. And so now we can start to attempt to date this cult. When listening or reading through the transcripts, we can see that the priests seem to say an interesting thing. Quote, "Dull Care and all his works are but a dream. As vanished Babylon and godly Tyre, so they shall vanish." Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're now able to glean a little bit more about the origins of this cult. We already suspected ancient Canaanites from the Levant, and now we see Tyre, The center of the old Phoenician civilization is cited here, and we know that the Canaanites fled north and indeed became the Phoenicians. And the Babylon reference is just as well. Babylon is where the Canaanites came from. And so it seems that all signs point to the cult, this cult origins coming from ancient Babylon. And this lines up precisely with my research on these people. It appears that these weirdos are reenacting a ritual from a time period of around 6,000 years ago, precisely when they were sacrificing children to Moloch. And to the first sentence of that quote, Dulcare and all of his works are but a dream. Well, who is Dulcare and what does this mean? From what we can see, Dulcare is exactly that, care, caring about someone else, conscience. We see that these weirdos claim that care is only but a dream, so not real, only in your head, in your imagination. Is this them saying, do as thou will, the Luciferian creed? They mention some other things that helps us to determine what's going on too. A line from one priest while talking about getting ready to kill the effigy goes as follows, quote, Dulcare, arch enemy of beauty, not for thee, the tender tribute and the restful grave, but fire shall have its will of thee. He refers to care or to having a conscience as being the arch enemy of beauty. So having a conscience is ugly. It's the opposite of beauty, and therefore not having a conscience is beautiful. Interesting. But maybe not as interesting as what happens next in this cult ritual. Just when the effigy is to be sacrificed, the effigy speaks, maybe given a chance for his last words by the robed weirdos. Dulcare says, fools, 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 when will ye learn that me ye cannot slay? Year after year ye burn me in this grove, lifting your silly shouts of triumph to the stars. But when again ye turn your feet towards your marketplace, am I not waiting for you as of old? Fools, fools, fools. So just two quick things to take from this. We see care confirm to us that these weirdos in attendance are the current controllers of the world today. The top merchants, the global merchants, the corporation heads, the price setters. As he says that, but when again ye turn your feet towards your marketplace, am I not waiting for you as of old? The other thing that Care is saying is that no matter how many times they do this silly ritual, no matter how many times they ritualistically kill Dulcare, Dulcare always turns back up once the oligarchs and power brokers head back to their homes and respective marketplaces of which they control. One of the fake high priests responds to Dulcare, quote, Nay, thou mocking spirit, it is not all a dream. We know thou waitest for us when this our sylvan holiday shall end. And sylvan means words, a word holiday. And we shall meet and fight thee as of old, and some of us prevail against thee, and some thou shalt destroy. But this too we know year after year within this happy grove our fellowship has banned thee for a space, and thy malevolence that would pursue us here has lost its power beneath those friendly trees. So shall we burn thee once again this night, and in the flames that eat thine effigy will read the sign, midsummer sets us free. Now, the high priest is simply agreeing with Dulcare, saying here that while Dulcare does come back when their vacation is over, at least during this retreat, he is put to death. So the high priest then turns to the owl, or Moloch. He asks Moloch what to do, and the owl tells him that the weirdos cannot kill Dulcare if the fire that will be used to kill it is kindled from this world. Or this is to say that they can't kill their conscience using a fire that comes from this world. Quote, No fire, if it be kindled from this world, where care is nourished on the hearts of men, shall drive him from this grove. One flame alone must light this pyre, the pure eternal flame that burns within the lamp of fellowship upon the altar of Bohemia. So then the head weirdo then goes to the torch that is the lamp of fellowship and takes its flame and then turns towards the attendees and says, quote, "Well, should we know our living flame of fellowship can sear the grasping claws of care, throttle his impious screams, and send his cowering carcass from this grove? Begone, detested care, begone. Once more we banish thee. Let the all-potent spirit of the lamp, by its cleansing and ambient fire, encircle this mystic scene. Hail, fellowship, begone, dull care. Once again, midsummer sets us free." And they then proceed to perform the mock murder, if it is indeed a mock murder. So it appears that these ancient sun worshippers, whose god is really Lucifer, the morning star, who are directly responsible for almost all of the death and destruction on this planet, at some point maybe had a continuous struggle with having a conscience. And that is what this ritual might be all about. This is why it was probably originally conceived. This ritual allowed them to banish this conscience, seemingly allegorically. However, given the facts of this meeting, with their origins going back to ancient Babylon and with an actual mock ritual occurring, and knowing that the owl represents Moloch, and people in the ancient Levant we know sacrificed children to Moloch, then I think it's safe to say that this ritual, while possibly just an allegory today, was most likely an actual ritual designed to help these psychopaths and their proteges to continue their plans, their death and destruction, their absolute control, their purposeful confusion and chaos and depopulation upon the citizens of the world, and to be absolved by their God and within their own hearts, thus making it easier for them to perform their great work. If you enjoy my videos, please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.